Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today we're going to be recapping the New York Jets Week 5 loss against the Arizona Cardinals. But before we get started, just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is that you get your podcast. New episodes drop midweek now. Every Wednesday we come out, so you can call in, leave me your questions. I'll try to get to them on the show. And last but not least, try to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Matt O'Leary NY, doing exclusive content over there. So if you're interested in bonus stuff like articles, videos, podcasts, all that fun stuff, get it over there on the Patreon. It's definitely worthwhile to check out. All right, so the Jets started with the ball and they went 3 and out, and it was just about exactly how you would have expected it to go. Ironically, Joe Flacco rolled out on the first play of the game, missed a wide open receiver, threw it behind him, which was a little depressing. 2-yard run on 2nd and 10, and then a pass short of the stick somehow. And they went 3 and out. Luckily, the Cardinals would also go 3 and out. They did not start off hot offensively, but that would change as the game would go on. The Jets would go 3 and out again on their second possession. Common theme with this team. We know that even without Sam Darnold at quarterback, the Jets are struggling. Joe Flacco's a veteran. We know that, and he's supposedly a better fit for Adam Gase's offense, but he did not look good also today. And there was a drop from Smith here on that possession. Not a whole lot to write home about on the first couple of possessions here for the New York Jets. Cardinals look much better on their second possession. They move the ball a little bit, and Edmonds pops one off on 3rd and 1, a 29-yard run into the end zone. Now, it's almost impressive for a defense to allow a 30-yard run on 3rd and 1 because you know a run is coming, and they still couldn't stop it. The Jets were out of position. It wasn't good, and they find themselves down 7-0. On the next Jets possession, they got Le'Veon Bell involved a little bit. He had a couple of nice runs, but unfortunately, they ran it 4 times in a row with Le'Veon Bell. They got a little bit too predictable. The last 2 did not work, and then the 3rd down throw was too high, so the Jets are going off the field. Now, not much going on the next possession here, but I have an issue with the play calling for the New York Jets the next time they get the ball. So they have it in the Cardinals territory on 3rd down and 1. They decide to go a fullback dive with Trayvon Wesco. Wesco's a tight end. They have a tight end playing fullback, which is not uncommon in the NFL, but usually you don't give the ball to a tight end to run up the middle. It did not work. And then on 4th and 1, they gave it to Le'Veon Bell. Now, that would be a time on either 3rd or 4th down where Frank Gore could get involved because he is a short yardage back. At this point in his career, that's what Frank Gore is. He hits the hole quicker than Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's more of a patient runner. Yes, Lev's quicker than Gore, but their running style is a little bit different. And on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, giving it to Gore in that spot might have made a little bit more sense. So I just did not understand the run to Trayvon Wesco. That is just preposterous. The Jets would catch a break, though, as Avery Williamson would intercept Kyler Murray on a deflection. Jets were in great field position, but their drive was killed before it even got started with a delay of game penalty. No, this is not a Sam Darnold issue. He had a similar situation earlier in the year where the Jets were coming off, a TV timeout or a turnover or something, and they got to delay a game. And everyone's like, oh, that's on the quarterback too. Well, is it also on Joe Flacco? Like, are we going to give Joe Flacco, the veteran, that? Or is that on the coach who's not getting the call in right away? You tell me. Either way, delay of game, not a great way to start after a turnover. The Jets would unfortunately settle for a field goal to make it 7-3. Right then, the Cardinals are saying, okay, we're going to kick it into high gear now. And finally, the Jets' defense crumbled and showed their true colors as they would march right down the field and Kyler Murray would run one in. 14-3. They would add a field goal before the end of the half to make it 17-3 at halftime. The Jets found themselves with very little going on offense. No shock. The Jets have been outscored in the first half, what feels like 1,000,000,000. They do not do anything in the first half. Usually they like to score in garbage time. They would score with the game still somewhat relevant that we'll get to eventually, but we saw the Cardinals offense start to come alive, and then in the second half, things really got even worse. Not a whole lot going on early on in this game. The Jets offense didn't do too much. The Cardinals offense didn't do too much, but then on this next Jets possession in the 3rd quarter, a big play to Crowder. A really nice play. Crowder went over 100 yards again this week. He's been excellent through his first 3 games, so hopefully we see more Jameson Crowder. Another big Chris Herndon drop on this drive. Like, this guy's been awful, and I was a big Chris Herndon supporter going into this year. I thought he could have been someone who could have put up like 700 receiving yards as a tight end. He is, in my mind, or going into this year, was a really good threat in the passing game. He's stunk. He's dropped 1 million passes so far. Maybe he is someone who can thrive away from Adam Gase. Like, that wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world, but he hasn't been good so far through the first 5 games this year. A nice play to round out the drive with a touchdown. Jamison Crowder catches it and fights his way in. 17-10. The Jets are still in this game somehow in the third quarter. So at this point, it looked like the Jets defense could have a stop situation. 3rd and 1, big play from Quinn Williams to stop the run there, but the Jets would get beat on the next play on 4th and 1, a big play action. Cliff Kingsbury showing off a little bit with the play calling. Nice throw from Kyler Murray. And then Kenyon Drake, guess who? He's free from Adam Gase, and he's been much better ever since. Barrels into the end zone, 1 yard out, 24-10. Now they're up 2 possessions and starting to pull this thing away. And unfortunately for Lamar Jackson, not the Ravens quarterback, the undrafted free agent, the New York Jets corner, he had a really tough time with DeAndre Hopkins in the second half. On one drive in particular, he let up a big play down the left sideline, and then he got beat again, this time in the end zone. 30-10, they go up. So a penalty moves the ball to the 1 yard line. They decided to go for 2. It was no good. So 30-10 right there was the score remained no extra point there. The Jets picked up the pace a little bit, which was intriguing. Their offense seems to look better when they pick the pace up. They just don't do it very often. Hogan got hurt on that drive. Berrios and Smith dropped touchdown passes. The Berrios one wasn't that great of a throw, to be honest. That would have been an insane catch. To me, I had more issue with the Jeff Smith, drop. He has to come up with that catch. It hits him in the chest in the NFL in the end zone. You got to catch that ball. I don't care who you are. Jeff Smith has to come in with that. So the Jets lose 30-10. They lose by 20 points again. They are blown out at home again. Their offense stinks again. Like, the same things that we've seen in the first 5 weeks of the year are the same things going forward. Cardinals had 500 yards of offense. 500. The offense is awful. There's no denying that. The defense is just as bad, if not worse. They allowed 500. I'll say it one more time. 500 yards. Kyler Murray had a good day throwing. He threw for like 385, close to 400 yards, a touchdown pass. Yes, there's an interception. It was on a tip ball. Jets defense was not good against the run. They let up another run for more than 20 yards for a touchdown. It was rough. And as for Joe Flacco, he was okay. 195 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 5.9 yards per attempt. That's the Adam Gase offense, man. He played it to essentially a T. There were times where he missed some throws. There were some drops in the game. It evened out. 195 yards, touchdown pass, 5.9 yards per attempt. If Sam Darnold's healthy next week, he's back in the lineup. Flacco did not outplay Sam Darnold by any stretch of the imagination in this game. I'm hoping we see Sam Darnold back next week. It's against the Miami Dolphins now, as the NFL's changing the schedule around a little bit. Maybe they have a better shot against Miami, but I don't know if this team could beat anybody right now. It's tough. It's really tough to come away with positives. Le'Veon Bell could be one in my eyes. He rushed for about 60 yards. I thought he was fine on 13 carries. And Jamison Crowder going over 100 yards was really good to see. That nice Quinnen play we talked about on 3rd down was nice. He would leave with an injury, so got to keep an eye on that. And that's basically it. I don't have a whole lot of positives about this. It's just another loss, another bad effort, and we're just going to keep running this back until Adam Gase is gone. That's the unfortunate part of it. We'll see what happens this next week, but you guys let me know in the comments below. What did you think of the game? Not really a whole lot else for me to say. You let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.